Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. So my name is Yambral Rahul, and in this video I'll be sharing my recent design sprint. I want to show you the whole process, how I took the information, how I brainstormed, and at what stage I have used AI and everything. So without further ado, let's get started. Design a portfolio for a multi-instrument user. So what that means is, multi-instrument means when a user is having different types of assets for them. It could be gold, it could be stocks, it could be crypto, and other different types. So when you think about it, multi-instrument users mean the user is having different types of investments in different categories. So what our task is to design a simple screen where the user can have a whole control and also have an overview of how their investment is going on. So that's the crux of this whole information that is given by the company. First, we have some background context. Understand the true performance. So there are users who want to understand the true performance of their all investments. Next is track diversification and risk. So diversification means, as I told already, that the user will be having multiple different instrumental investments. So it is very diversified, and the user would definitely want to have the risk adjustment automatically done and also being in control of it. So that's the second point. Third one is knowing what action to take. So some of the actions can be taken automatically, but to give the user the more flexibility, user should know like what action they need to do. So this is the background context. So this is what the problem is basically. So this is problem. So it is not something that we are doing it in very new way, like we are not reinventing the wheel. So what is the problem which is existed in the previous designs or other competitors? So it is mentioned that, so there are two type of users. One, the power users who's having lot of information, they are well versed with the trading and investment and all those things. And another one is the simple user who just want to have a simple interface where they can just log in, do the investment and just forget about it so that it grows their wealth. So the problem is the dashboards or the designs that are already existed in the market are too technical. Means they are very overwhelmed with the data, charts and jargon words that the user is not able to understand them and take an instant action. Next is too shallow. So that what that means is, whatever the dashboards that you see, generally they all will be filled up with the number of charts, numbers, and user need to think about it. User need to think, okay, I need to analyze this and get to a answer. What if that could be done using some other ways, the AI way, which we are seeing in the new applications? But I will tell you how I implemented that. So next steps is what you need to focus on, which was mentioned in the previous background context too. Now, what is our challenges, like what we need to do it? So user should be able to understand their investment performance across different products. So that's our first challenge. Second challenge is visualize the risk exposure. So keep a reminder on the risk exposure because that's the most important, and diversification. And third one is discover the actionable next steps. So these are the 3 points that they have mentioned, which are very correlated to the background context. The other thing that they have mentioned in the challenge is that the design should work for the 3 types of users. So the user 1 is the person who is just holding one asset. Next is 5 plus assets, and the third one is the user who has not taken any action in the week. That means the third user is inactive and they are not using the application. So moving on. So whenever you are doing any work or something like this particular design sprint, think from the business perspective and also from the user perspective. So whatever the context and whatever the information that we are given now in this particular document is totally about the user, but you need to understand like what could be the possible outcome for the business. So if you see that there are 3 type of users, so these 3 type of users need to have some input in the business outcome. For example, the first one which you see, the user only holding one product. So here the main goal for the company would be to motivate the user to invest in other assets also. So like more the user will invest, the more the wealth will grow, and simultaneously the company's custodian or company value will also grow. So that's the first outcome for the business. Second thing is, user should be able to hold, like the user holding 5 plus products in a different asset class. So this user is a premium user, means that user will be paying to the company for the premium features, premium analytics and other stuff. Now third one is the user who doesn't have any action. So this type of user is a burden on the company, because to run an application there are different types of costs, like a backend cost, AWS, different things. But if the user is not taking any action, their daily active user count will be low and overall activity of a user journey will be low, which is a negative mark for the company. So that need to be improvised. So these are the 3 things, like what the user want and how the business is having impact of it. Now let's go to the first step, how you get started. So the first step of getting started is you need to give that brief to any AI tool. It could be Lovable, it could be Bolt, or it could be any other. As you can see on the screen, I have used and have given them the whole information, whatever the brief that I was given with. Lovable and Bolt has given me the first draft. First draft means you can see that Lovable has given me, okay, at the top we can have like a cards which are showing most important information. Then we have performance, allocation and risk exposure as a chart, as an exposure chart. And in the bottom we have actionable insights. And similarly, if you have tried Bolt also have given us the same thing. So based on the 2 AI tools that what they have given as a structure, I analyzed them and got to this particular wireframe that you're seeing on your screen. So the first thing that you can see is we are greeting the user. That is the most important thing, because in the finance there is no person involved on the application to greet, and it's like a customer experience. So greet the user, have a title. Now next you can see that I have different types of card information that I added here. So first one is the total portfolio value. So this particular card will be helpful for the user to understand what their current value is. Next particular card is daily change. So they want to know how much the volatility is there in the daily market. Now next is the total gain and loss. So overall impact of their portfolio. So how much impact is there over the portfolio in the last 30 days or other. So last 30 days and everything will become as a filter, which we'll see in the design. Now you can see that there are 4 cards are given, and in the below just that cards, I have a line there. Your portfolio has a steady growth this month, outperforming the average market trend. So this is what is added in the design, added in the wireframe, because this will inform the non-technical user, the user who is not that much into numbers and everything, but they can just go through the dashboard and read the synopsis of it. So this is important. Have this in your note. Next we have tab sections. So overview, transaction, insights, and support. So these will be the tabs as a first glance. Now in overview, you can see that there are key insights is there. So this is the highlighted part, which will give them more information about their whole portfolio in a textual format. So user will not need to put their mind into calculate everything, understand, go through the charts, and then copy it and obviously go to the chat GPT and then ask there. Here, if you see that instead of going like multiple longer page or longer screen, I went with the 3 main graphs that we could have, and how these 3 graphs will be helpful for the user. So first one is allocation, which will give the diversification information. Next is risk exposure, which will inform the user whether their portfolio is in a good on the stable side or they need to take instant action. So what is the risk? Third one is the performance, like how their investment is going on. And the last, we have action items to take an action. You might be thinking like how this particular wireframe is built. So that depends upon the inverted pyramid structure that I follow. So I will show you that. So this is what whenever you're designing a dashboard, you need to focus on this particular inverted pyramid. At the first, you need to show the most important information. That's why the user comes onto the platform, to know the most important. Next is details, like what is happening. And third one is general. So this thing I learned from Alex. You can check out his work. He runs an agency called 30kstrategy.com. So he has written a very well structured article on how to design a dashboard. So this particular idea or ideology or the learning is taken from him. So go and check it out. So that is that. So based on this inverted pyramid structure, I wireframed the whole dashboard. As per the pyramid structure, as you can see here, the first one is the information block. Next is the trend, and third one is a general. Why I mean the action item is the last one and is a journal is because here the user may take the action, may not take the action, because here we don't have any burden on them. Burden in sense, there is no linkage. For example, if you see on the top card, there is information and then there is key insights. So between the two information and trend, you are giving the information as a text that they can click on it and take an action. So these arrows which you are seeing on your screen are for user to take the action and inform the user that they are clickable. Once this wireframe is done, next your task is to apply the colors, apply the whole UI that the client has given to you, and see how it sets with the whole application. So this is what I designed. So as you can see, so there is a welcome message on the top, which we wanted to have it. Next, we have portfolio overview, the 4 cards. But here one thing has changed it. Instead of user to analyze like how their portfolio is performing, we are having a volatility card itself. And we have a total gain and loss instead of daily changes, which could be like drastic and user may panic. So to remove that particular thing, I added only total gain and loss. Even in that, if you can see that we have color, so color indicator. So as the value will be changing, it will change its color, like a green, it is going to the profit, and red for the negative one as it's going down. But this thing will not apply to the total portfolio value, because that may cause the user to take instant action without thinking, which we don't want. We don't want them to go out of our application or take any instant action without thinking, which can impact the whole market and other portfolios also. And the 4th card is cash availability. So this is what we added, because user should be able to know what is the amount they have deposited and which is just being idle. And on the top, if you can see, there is information that what interval the whole card is moving. So it is updating every 30 seconds. So user don't need to refresh it again and again. It will automatically get refreshed. Now, instead of having multiple tabs, what I did, overview will act as a dashboard. AI assistant will work as a assistant that user can use. Now, assets is something that is individual. So as this particular dashboard will be showing an overview over all the multiple investment that user has done. So there should be some section or some way that user should be able to go deeper into the asset. So that will be in the assets tab. Now next is Genie Insight, which informs the user what is happening with their overall portfolio. And next we have different these graphs. Performance will be the first important thing that the user will be seeing. Next one is the allocation, which will help the user to know how their investment is diversified. And the third one is the risk exposure. Now let's go deeper into the each chart and how that is different and be useful for the user. So the first chart that you are seeing is the performance chart and the asset allocation. So both of these charts are not original my work. So these two are taken as a inspiration, as an idea from Nick, whom you can follow, and he also runs an agency called Baked. This is not a typical bar graph. So this is a line graph where you can see the individual investments that the user has done among the different months, and also they can see how much they have earned and what could be the potential. So potential is something that is from the AI or the algorithm designed by the company. These are the chances that the user has missed. So we are creating a FOMO effect for the user to start taking action on the insights that are given by the company. So this particular information, the potential, will be helpful in that part. And at the bottom you can see that there is a information like you're doing awesome, keep it up. So these smaller nudges help the user to be like someone is talking to them and make it much more interactive as a whole user experience. Next we have asset allocation, which acts as same as how performance is, but there are different things in this here. So here you can see this is a pie chart on which you can hover and see the information. This is also taken from Nick, so go and check it out his work. On the top you can see the final result or information like how overall thing is going on. So the stock is growing by 60%, the profit is going there, there is setting, and at the bottom we have the same nudge to motivate the user to take the action. Like here we are telling the user to take the action to diversify their portfolio. Next we have risk exposure. So this is what is more interesting. So here with this particular graph you can understand directly where you have invested, where you can invest, and also now at this moment we have 5. If the company is adding more different instrumental or possibility or opportunities for the user to invest in, that will also come in here. So this particular graph, the area exposure graph which we say, is acting in a 2-way. One is informing the user where they stand, and second one informing the user with the new investment opportunities that are coming up, that there. And on the top we can see there is a alert icon. So whenever there is a high exposure or there is a drastic change in their portfolio, the user will directly get an alert, so they can set it up. That's there. And the bottom there is a information. So as you can see, this bottom nudges also have a different color codes. So yellow means it's okay, but it's like a warning that they have to take it because there is a higher impact if they don't diversify. And blue means it's just an information that they can skip it on or they can do it later also. So that's there. And as we discussed in the wireframe, at the bottom we have desirable next steps. So user which can take, or all in one they can see what are the whole suggestions that the company is giving them. Now there is a question like how these AI insights will be implemented in the company. So it's not a part of your work, but as a design sprint where we are brainstorming and doing whole work, it's also important for the designer to think in a technical format, so which will give you an extra edge and will help the development team and also the management team to value you more, not only as a person who brings the rough idea into a brand guideline set it idea, but as a person who is thinking from the user perspective, from business perspective, and also from the developer perspective. So the third thing, which is developer perspective, is very important in the AI age, and you should be able to think in that particular way, because if you're not able to think in that particular way, you will not be able to build it. So that's what we'll be discussing now. Next. So now coming to the AI insights. So first of all, you need to learn about how AI works. What we brainstormed overall is how to get the context for the AI. So the context for the AI will be in a 4 categories. So first one is the portfolio breakdown. So this particular information will be given to the AI. The LLM can understand what are the asset classes are there, what is the allocation percentage, and the concentration, like in a different sector, like only IT or software or service, that, and percentage. So that's the first part. Now next part is the transaction history. So transaction history, we have 3 different categories: frequency, activity duration, cash in and cash out. So portfolio breakdown will give the information on the market trend, how the user is investing and how it is performing with the market. Transaction history is something that will define user is trusting the platform or not, user is active on it or not, because based on their frequency, how much they are depositing, what is their activity duration, whether they are investing and getting it out instantly. So these factors will be helping the AI to understand their activity. Next is performance. So in the performance, it will be decidable, like it will track both the platforms, like how portfolio is constructed by the user and what are the user decisions. Okay, AI has suggested to invest in XYZ stock, but user has invested in ABC stock. So the AI will have context of both, because in the chart we are showing them what is their current performance and what could be the potential. So user decision will be helpful there. Leaders portfolio is something that AI will be comparing the user decision, portfolio, everything with the top traders, top portfolio managers, how their portfolio is performing and how user in a smaller scale is performing. Next is market trend, which is same of how overall market is, either it is bullish or it is going down or what is happening. Next is user profile preference. The user will be having the control. Okay, I just want to take lower risk, high profit, high risk. So those criteria user can set. So this is what AI context features that I thought of. Now, if you remember that in the brief, we have 3 different types of users. One, the user with 5 instrument investment, and next who is having just 1, and the next one is user who has not taken any action. So now what we'll be doing is we'll be applying that particular AI context that I just discussed with you, and how that will be applied to the different users, because the information that will be derived from this AI context will be shown onto the design. So the design should be simple and it should be intuitive. So for that reason, the backend should also be good. So the first one is the user with having 5 instrumental investments. So what AI layer will do? So the AI layer will first check the user profile and derive information. So user has preferred to have a stable growth and medium risk. Next, AI will check the performance and derive like how their investment is going on. That information will be derived. Next, AI will get the transaction history. It will track how the user is a long term investor or a short term investor, and then it will come to the portfolio and then see like how it is. So based on that different information, the AI insights will be created. Like your portfolio is growing, stocks are your strongest performer, but contributing only 40% profit. So diversification, volatility, and all of this information will be derived like that. In a similar way, a user with only one instrument will have the portfolio breakdown part where the AI will understand, okay, user is just investing in one particular instrument. It will promote the user to take the other sectors as an opportunity and start with it by creating the FOMO, like this crypto industry with that stable coin or something has grown 100x and you should take the opportunity like that. So this is an overall design sprint that happened, which I wanted to share with you guys all. And one more thing is that how design process is processed in an AI world. So this is what I use as of my design process, but here something has changed. So the change is that the skeleton and structure that you're seeing, the wireframing prototype, this is taken by AI. And more of the work that we as a designers are doing is on the scope and strategy. So that's where our major portion of time is going. And last step is the surface. So in the whole 5S strategy, like a 5S process that I follow, from strategy, scope, structure, skeleton, and surface, skeleton and structure is being taken by the AI because AI can give you the first draft, but you need to work on it. You need to change your priorities, change your features, and change your user goals differently and apply it again and again. At the final, you need to polish it. That's where surface comes up. So this is what my recent design process is look like, and this is how the time was distributed. So before AI, like 40% was going into strategy, scope, 50% was going into the execution, and refinement was 10%. Now with the AI, what happened is 30% is going into the strategy and scope, because now we have AI tools to do the market research, to write the brief in a much more structured way so that other investors, founders, and different people in the team can also understand. Now and next, execution is taking 30%, and the final step is the refinement. The smaller details, the hidden details, the uniqueness of a product comes only when there is refinement. Now being a designer, being a product designer in the future, you will need to work on the refinement. That's where my most of the time has went while I was designing this dashboard, because the first structure, the first information was done by the AI, the first part, and later on as we revised, this particular dashboard has came into life. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you have any suggestions of videos like this, just let me know. I will try to create, and just keep designing, keep learning, and have a great day.